This news is so bullish for copper. This is coming from Yahoo Finance by way of Bloomberg. Copper slump will give way to record buying spree, Citi says. Investors look to set to pile into copper markets on an unprecedented scale in the next few years as usage surges in EVs and renewable energy. The green movement is going to require copper, as copper is a great conductor of electricity. You got two themes that need copper. Yeah. Shall we go on? The key industrial metal is widely known as the proxy for global economic activity, and prices have slumped in recent months on weakened demand. Copper is fast emerging as the go-to commodity for investors looking for exposure to the energy transition. Citi predicts that rising allocation from the index tracking investors and hedge funds could help boost net bullish positioning in the copper market to about 4 million tons by 2025. I need to start tracking this through the COT. As usage starts to soar, rising hedging activity from car makers could add a further 1 million tons in long positions, bringing a wall of money into futures markets just as demand starts to race ahead of supply in the physical industry. That will help push copper to a record high. The bank is advising investors and consumers to start purchasing soon, while a weak macroeconomic backdrop keeps prices at around 8,300. Citi says copper may dip further in the short term, but should begin rallying within 6 to 12 months, topping out at about 15,000 in 2025. So this would be a double in the spot price. Copper soared to a record nearly of 11,000 in early 2022 as the surge in demand during the pandemic left the industry critically low on stock, and the war in Ukraine stoked fears over supplies from Russia. Okay, rising prices for battery metal has pushed automakers to partially switch away from the rare earth metals in favor of iron and other abundant materials over the past few years. But copper, which isn't used in the battery itself but transmits power from the cell to an EV motor, isn't as exposed to those kinds of shifts. Citi thinks car makers and other consumers will increasingly demand more than the market can supply, while the accelerating rollout of EVs and renewables will draw in a flood of investors. All right, so let's just go to the charts of copper. We'll start with the monthly chart, and we can see back during the pandemic in July, price hit a low, but couldn't get to the monthly bias level at $2.90. Since that time, it did move up about 50% before stalling out. So this is one big range, and within that range you have trends. On a daily chart, this would be an uptrend. Daily chart, this would be a downtrend. So from a macro view, price is range bound from $5 to $3. Let's go down to the weekly chart. Right, so if you take this segment up, you're making higher lows and higher highs. But this segment down, you're making lower highs and lower lows. Looking for an area of interest, but I don't quite see any. This was one here on the weekly chart. And you had a breakout essentially. All right, I'm going to go to the daily chart. All of this is just sideways price action. This whole range the buyers and sellers are at equilibrium, more or less. This would be a good level, but I don't like all the price action to the left. This was one. Yep, that hit. This could have been one that hit. Yeah, this is tough. I don't see anything of interest. I'm going to zoom out back to the weekly. Yeah, we just need to see price. What would be great, as City mentioned, prices could decline further. That'll be great. If we get down to, I don't know, 3.25 to 3, that might be a time to start dollar cost averaging. I'm going to look for an ETF. There is one out there that trades along with the spot price of copper. I don't know it offhand, but maybe I'll refer back to that article. And definitely I will put that on my radar once I find it. But there you go, the theme, long term, copper bullish. Got the green movement, EV movement. You need copper, transmit the power. If I scroll back out just to the monthly charts, just want to see the all-time highs. Okay, so we did hit all-time highs in March of 2022. Yeah, we're going to definitely take out this high because it takes years for copper mining to come online. It takes years. And I think in recent years, there's been an underinvestment just due to the pandemic and coming out of the pandemic. So you're definitely going to have an imbalance between demand and supply, and it's going to favor copper prices longer term. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Please like the video.